Good morning, Spirit of God Christian Church. It is Sunday morning, and we are excited as we prepare our hearts and minds as we get ready for another Sunday service, as we are going after the devil again with disarming the devil and some things that the Lord has laid upon us. Yes, you have completed now 20 days of your church-wide fast, and today is day 21. And we started on Monday, the 4th of January at 12:01 a.m. And so really this day wouldn't be complete until we got to Monday, the 25th at 12:01 a.m. But there is something that the Lord has asked of us. And I want you to understand this, and I really want you to hear this in the spirit. I know that normally you're just getting your reminder and your notification about service, but I want to make sure that I do this. And I'll reiterate it during the service for those who might miss this as well. Here's what the Lord has asked of us. The Lord has asked for a full Monday, the 25th. In other words, God says, give me all the way till midnight. And he reminded me of something. How many times in your life have you all given me nothing, and yet I've given you something? How many times have you given me the bare minimum, and I've given you abundance? And God says, I want you to be reminded of the fact that I'm asking of this because this will seal your fast, because you are responding in obedience to me. And you know, he even took me back to my own life. He said, Randall, you remember the days when you and I weren't in covenant relationship. You were a churchgoer, but you weren't a Christian. There were days when you were in college. There were days after that when you didn't even think about me. You didn't get into your word. You didn't pray. You didn't do anything. But look at the blessings that I gave you, even despite the fact of how you did me. He said, I always gave you tomorrow. And you know what? That is truly a blessing, because even on those days, and while I may be ashamed to say them, but I got to be truthful and say it. There were days back then that I didn't pray. There were days back then that I wasn't in the word of the Lord. But I thank God that he drew me to the point to where now I can say days don't go by where I don't talk to God, and days don't go by where I don't spend some time in his word. But in those days where I gave him nothing, he still gave me life. He still gave me tomorrow. In other words, he gave me another day and another day and another day. So certainly I can give God another day when it comes to this church-wide fast. And I want to make sure that I stand in order and in completion with what the Lord has said. And so I'm going to ask that you do the same as well. Let's finish out today strong. Let's do our piece on this Sunday, but let's make sure that we go in knowing that we're going to complete Monday all the way through, because that's what the Lord has required. Now, even go to the church app website. Make sure you read the scripture today for its entirety. And it's real simple in Daniel chapter 10, in verses 12 through 14. It goes on, but primarily the primary piece, and I want you to read that in its own entirety. He said, Daniel, from the time you set your mind to gain understanding, humble yourself before God, your words were heard. So he says, but the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. So we got to push this all the way through. We got to make sure we put a seal on it, just as God has said. And I want you to know that God is going to bless, and going to bless mightily in our obedience to him. And let me also pin this way. If there is something in your life that you can give God one more day away from it, that thing right there will be a snare and a trap to you all the days of your life. There shouldn't be anything in our life that has such a hold on us that if we've been able to give it to God for 21 days and we are pitching a fit about one more day, or bringing that day to completion because we start that day with 1 minute and God says, I want all of it, then that thing is a thing that will continue to be a hindrance unto us. But let's come against that right now and say, oh no, I'm going to give God everything he asked of me on this, because I know his character, I know his nature, and I know his history, that God always gives me way more than I ever offer up to him. So let's go, Spirit of God, as we complete day 21, but we're going to go on and go forward and finish out on tomorrow to make sure that we give the Lord that which he has asked of us. God bless you. I'll see you soon at 10 a.m. for a great word from the Lord and a great service from Spirit of God Christian Church. God bless you.